Hello, and welcome to the MyHeritage webinar series. I'm Miriam Pierre-Louis, your host, broadcasting to you live from Eastern Massachusetts. Today we have Tal Ehrlichman, who is with us live in Israel for his class, MyHeritage's Latest Photo Innovations. Thanks to Tal, and thanks to the more than 1,700 of you for registering for today's live webinar. So wherever and whenever you are, glad to have you with us. So now to introduce our speaker. Tal Ehrlichman is Director of Product Management at MyHeritage. He's responsible for MyHeritage's core genealogy service, including the family tree, matching technologies, and the historical records search engine. Tal comes from a computer science background, specializing in mobile security for BYOD Solutions, and was part of the Let Mobile team acquired by Ivanti in 2012. Please put your virtual hands together, and let's give Tal Ehrlichman a nice, warm webinar. Welcome. How are you, Tal? Welcome to the webinar.
I'm good. Great to be here. Thank you.
And I've switched over to you. You should see that alert. Great. Time is all yours, Tal.
Thank you very much. So great to be here again. Always fun. I'm Tal, for those who don't know me. I'm going to talk today about some of MyHeritage latest photo innovations, some different topics. We're going to start by talking about AI Time Machine. Some of you may have heard about that. And then we will talk about two features that allows you to better organize your family photos in your family site. One of them is list view for photos, and the other one is our photo tagger that helps you tag multiple photos very, very quickly. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first topic for today is AI Time Machine. AI Time Machine allows you to transform yourself into a historical figure using everyday photos. Soon, I will show you how you can do that with your own photos. Maybe some of you already tried it before or saw posts about it on social media, as it really went viral and was kind of booming for the last few weeks. It's really fun and cool, so I wanted to show it to you, although it's not very, very genealogical. But you guys usually like fun stuff, so we'll start today's session with this latest cool feature from MyHeritage. So as you may know, over the past 3 years, MyHeritage has launched a suite of features that leverage artificial intelligence, what we call AI, to bring historical photos to life. AI Time Machine is a new twist on this theme, inviting you to travel to the past and see yourself as you might have looked at the time of your ancestors. Basically, it allows you to see yourself or a loved one as an ancient Greek warrior, an Egyptian pharaoh, a Victorian lady, or an astronaut, as you can see in these examples, and soon we'll see how we can do that. So we'll start maybe with a short video that showcases this feature really nicely in a few, like 30 seconds. I'll hit the play button. Okay, so for those that may recognize Gilad Katz, he's the founder and CEO of MyHeritage, and for this video we used his photos as an example. Basically, what we do here is we take some of Gilad's ordinary photos, as can be seen here on the left-hand side. We put them into into this process that takes images, and using text-to-image technology, we transform those images into a model, a machine learning AI model that is able to simulate how Gilad might have looked like in different themes. Different themes could be different styles or different, in this case, historical figures. It can be an Egyptian pharaoh or a cowboy or a British lord from a century ago, or a knight or whatever. And you can see here multiple examples for how we took Gilad's photos and transformed them into different themes. It's quite nice. Here you can see another example. This lady, her name is Ori, and she's working also for MyHeritage, agreeing to model for this presentation. And you can see here examples for her. It works well both for women and for men, and the results are quite interesting. Basically, how it works. AI Time Machine uses deep learning text-to-image model and personalization technology that was licensed by MyHeritage from a company called Astria, which specializes in tailor-made AI image generation. The technology behind it is based on stable diffusion, which is a buzzword that is heard a lot right now. It's basically a text-to-image model that was released during last year. It is primarily used to generate hyper-realistic images conditioned on text descriptions. So basically, if you want to be an Egyptian pharaoh, if we took that an example, or a Greek philosopher, you need to enter a text prompt that describes how you want to look like in this theme. And this technology will allow you to generate photos for you or images for you based on this theme. To get it working, you need to upload between 10 and 25 photos of one person posing in different ways. An AI time machine will construct an AI model of that person from these input photos. Then, using any of the predefined themes that MyHeritage creative team created, we can set you in different historical eras. It synthesizes model with the theme to craft stunning images of a person cast as a historical figure. Now, I want to show you a live demo of how to get it working, if that's what you're curious about. So let's find it over here, just a second. Okay, so if you want to try it, you can also try it right now. You go to myheritage.com/AI time machine, and you'll get to this page. Here you can see the nice example that I showed you previously, and you can scroll through many different examples down here. Just one second, let me refresh so it will look better. So you can scroll through different examples and see many things that we have created. On the left-hand side here, you can see the real image, one of the real images that was used in order to generate this AI model. And here you can see all the output images that were generated by this model. Now, if we want to try it, basically what we need to do, we click the Try It Now button that you saw previously, and it will take you to this screen that asks you to upload photos. You select between 10 and 25 photos of the same person. the more photos you upload, the better results you will get. Basically, what we want is to get photos of yourself. It can be selfies, it can be other photos that you have in your camera roll, but there are certain guidelines, like this photo should show only yourself and no other people in the photo, otherwise the model can get confused. We want to see mainly selfies, but also full body and upper body shots are good. If you have some shots where you are looking sideways, it's even better to include them as well. It's good to use photos that we're taking on different days, photos that are showing different expressions, smiling, not smiling, looking upwards, downwards. It's good to have a variety of photos and to use as many photos as you can. So if you have 25 photos, you will probably get better results. But if you only find 10 photos, it's totally enough, and you will get very nice results also. Obviously, no photos of minors, no nudity, nor swimsuit photos, no anything like that, because we don't want to get undesired results. So in order to select the photos, you click the Select Photos button. You go to your camera roll. You can do it from your mobile device. You can do it from your desktop. I'm doing it now from my desktop for the sake of this presentation. And you can select as many photos as you want. You click Open, and then it tells you that you have selected 15 photos. We recommend adding more for best results, but it's not mandatory. You can click the Continue button. And then what you need to add is enter your name or the name of the person you are creating the model for, and select the person's gender. The reason the gender is important is in order to generate photos that resemble that person more. You can try it with both genders. It sometimes works very nicely also with the other gender, but normally, what we saw so far is that with the actual gender, you get normally better results. You select, in this case, I selected male and click Continue. Now, as in cooking shows, this process takes time. So imagine we put now the photos into the oven and we go and wait. But since we don't want to wait for 30 minutes right now, what we'll do is I'll show you the result. Basically, MyHeritage will send you an email once your results are ready. So you don't need to wait here on this screen. You'll just get an email with a link to view your results. But in case you didn't, in case we don't want to wait right now, I will take you to view the results. So in this case, there's a model here created from the same photos that I selected now. And these will be the results. You will get to a page that shows all the themes that we created for the photos that you uploaded. One thing that I didn't mention is that this feature is a paid feature. It costs about between 10 and 22 US dollars. I will show you the pricing later, but since this is a very heavy computational task that also takes time, we must unfortunately charge for it. And what you can you get after you pay, and after we'll send you the email, you get here to see your results. So you'll see here a list of different themes that we created for you, from the prehistoric times all the way up until futuristic themes. So it's kind of like a chronological sort of list. And for every theme that we generated for you, we are generating 10 different images. So you can see a variety of different examples. Some of them are better, some of them are worse. For example, I think that this one looks like me, and also this one and this one. But others, like maybe this one, are less similar to how I look. You can, of course, scroll and see each of them separately. You can download or share each and every photo. You can also download this nice collage as a collage of all your themes. And you can scroll down on the screen in order to see all the themes that we created for you. So here is me as an Egyptian king, and as the king of Mesopotamia, and king of Babylonia, and the Persian warrior, ancient Greek, and so on. Let's jump all the way to a Viking. And as you can see, it's very, very diverse. The results are really different from one another. Some are better, some are worse. What's nice here is that you get so many that it's always easy to find ones that you really like. We saw many posts on social media over the last few weeks of people that really enjoyed this. I'm guessing that some of you also saw that. So you can get really nice and interesting results. One other thing that I wanted to show here is that we also added, one moment, another tab here at the top. We have two tabs. We have one tab for time travel and another one which are more like generic avatars that we create for more generic themes, like a World Cup soccer player, and an action figure, and a pencil sketch, a surfer, a hipster, and so on. So it's kind of fun, and there are a lot of different examples to browse through, and I really encourage you guys to generate it and try all of them. You can either buy only the time travel package if you're only interested in that, or only the avatars package, or buy an all-inclusive package that includes both types of themes. I will show you the pricing in a minute. So here's the pricing for the packages. We have the avatar package that generates about 300 different images for $10. The time travel package for $12, approximately 500 images, and you can get both of them for $20. Also, if you don't have a MyHeritage subscription, you can start a free trial for MyHeritage, and if you start a free trial, we give you a 50% discount on these prices, so you can get it really cheaply with a free trial to MyHeritage. It's all possible to do via the purchase page that you will get to after you upload the photos. A bit about privacy. All the photos that you're uploading are deleted after the model is ready. The AI model itself is deleted 3 months after its creation. And all generated images are only accessible via the AI Time Machine page, meaning that generated images will not be added to your family site media library, meaning that they will not be shared with your other site members and anything like that. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic. I hope you guys are still listening and not trying to create avatars of yourself at the moment. You can do that later. No, I'm just kidding. So the next topic is a new list view that we added a few months ago for photos, for organizing your family photos. So as I've mentioned, over the past 3 years, we've released several innovative new tools to help you take like old photos and improve them and bring them back to life. MyHeritage have become the #1 destination for uploading and enhancing old family photos. And I guess you've heard of features like MyHeritage in Color and the Photo Enhancer and Photo Repair that repairs the scratches in your photos, and Deep Nostalgia that was a big hit that allowed you to animate your photos, and also Deep Story that allows you to tell the story of your ancestors, to allow them to tell their story with a talking portrait. So our users have been uploading millions of photos to the platform due to these features, and this led to a growing demand for better tools for organizing, documenting, and tagging them. The new list view for photos is one of the solutions we added in order to help users organize and annotate their family photos. But first of all, for those less familiar, let's see how you can find all the family photos that you uploaded to MyHeritage. So right here, when hovering the site navigation bar, we have the Photos menu item, and below that we have My Photos. You click on that, and it will take you to view all of your photos. It will basically take you to this page, which we call the grid view for photos. Until recently, family site photos on MyHeritage were displayed in a long scroll of thumbnails of your media items showing all your photos, but without details about them. This view that you see here, the grid view, is a convenient view for browsing through your photos quickly, but it lacks context about when and where the photo was taken and who is tagged in it. So basically, we all love information next to our photos, and this view is not enough to view and sort through all this information. So basically, what we created is a new list view for photos, which is designed for convenient viewing and sorting of the details in your family photos. The new list view allows you to see thumbnails of your photos along with meta information relating to each photo, as you can see here, including the title of the photo, the people tagged in the photo, the date when it was taken, and the place where it was taken. For example, if we look at the second row, you can see the names of the people that were tagged: Simon Stanner, Tammy Barnett, Deacon Stanner. The title of the photo is Simon and Tammy and Family, and it was taken on 1910 in Poland. On the third row, you can see that we have a missing place. Here from the table, you'll be able to click on this button, on this plus button, in order to add the information inline. I will show it in a second. Hovering over one of the rows will show you a view button, and you can click it or click the thumbnail in order to get into the photo, see more information about it, and be able to manipulate it, either colorize it or enhance it or tag it or do whatever you want. So let's see how you can add missing information. Here you can see an example of a line in the table with no details. Let's use it to understand how you can enter information for every photo directly from the list view. Clicking the plus sign, these little plus signs, I hope you can see them, allows you to add the information inline. Basically, the information you can add is the photo's title, the date it was taken, and the place it was taken. So this is how you can add the photo title. You basically enter whatever title that you want, and you click the Save button. When you click on the date taken plus sign, you'll see this component that allows you to enter a date. You can enter the exact date or enter a partial date. If sometimes you don't know exactly when a photo was taken, you can enter a circa date or between a certain year and a certain year. Let's say you know that the photo was taken somewhere between 1970 and 1975, but you don't know when exactly, so you can also do that from here. You have all the flexibility that you need in order to add the information that you know about the date when the photo was taken. And there's also an option to add a place for the photo, and you click the Save button, and the place will be saved for that photo. Of course, all these options that I've just shown are also available from the photo page itself, but getting into each and every photo and doing that individually for each photo is a bit painful and it takes time. So that's the reason why we wanted to expose this functionality already from the list view. Tagging people in the photo is not done directly from the list view. Clicking tag people in the list view, the plus sign below the people tagged column, will open the photo in a new tab in your browser and will enter tagging mode in which you can tag the people in the photo. So it will open in this mode, and you can enter the person's name and click enter. After you enter the person's name, it will show you suggestions from your family tree. So that person needs to appear in your family tree in order to tag him. And it's also possible to tag people that are not in the tree by just entering a name that doesn't appear in the tree and clicking enter. Once you're done, and you can click the Done Tagging button, and that's it. You can multi-select photos that you wish to download, delete, or move to an album by selecting them using the checkbox to the right of the thumbnail. You see the small checkbox here. After you selected a few of them, you can either, from these controls here, you can either delete them, download them, or move them to a dedicated album. So if you like to arrange your photos, to organize your photos in albums, then this is probably the most convenient way to add them to an album. Now, one additional thing that we added is sorting options. So in the grid view, the one that I showed in the beginning, the default sort is by date uploaded. Basically, it's a long stream of photos that are sorted by their date, meaning that the last uploaded photos will always appear at the top. In the new list view, we've listened to our users and added new sorting options. As you can see, the current sort is by date uploaded. When clicking here on date uploaded, you'll see a small drop-down menu that allows you to sort by different fields like date taken, photo title, or place where the photo was taken. You can also change the sort order by clicking the arrow, this one, if you want it to be ordered ascending and not descending. So you have all the flexibility that you need for sorting your list of photos. In the grid view, photos are always displayed with the photos added most recently at the top of the page, as I said. And there are no sorting or filtering options available in that view. So, while normally this is enough, if you have many photos, finding photos of interest is much easier using by applying different filters. Therefore, we added to the list view the following filtering options. You can filter either by a year range, by place where the photo was taken, and by people that are tagged in the photo. And we give you some nice flexibility there. So if we look at the year range filtering option, the year range filter is dividing all your photos with a date taken into buckets based on decades. So if you want to look at photos from the time your parents were teenagers, for example, you can filter all photos from the 1940s and 1950s. And then you can focus only on photos from these two decades instead of looking at all of them. You can also set a custom year range here below and decide that, for example, you want to see photos from 1937 until 1952 instead of using these decades. The missing date filter, this one, allows you to see which photos are missing a date, and you can set yourself on a quest to eliminate such photos and add all the dates that you know. So basically, this is a very good and actionable filter to use if you want now to add all the missing information to your photos. You just click the missing date, and then you see all photos that are lacking a date, and you can go through them one by one, and if you know a date for them or approximate date for them, you can edit. Obviously, most of us don't know the date of all of our photos, but at least for some of them, and this is very important to document. If, for example, your paternal side of the family are coming from the US and you wish to only see photos from the US, you can do so using this filter, the place taken filter. So when clicking it, you will see this drop down, and you'll be able to click on USA. And we will show you only photos that were taken in the US. You can multi-select more than one location. Let's say you want to see photos that were taken both in France and Germany. You can click on France and Germany and see all of them at the same time. The small arrow next to the country name over here can be used to look at specific cities from which you have photos, and you can multi-select photos from some of these cities. So we broke down each country into cities in order to have more flexibility, and this is also quite useful when you have a lot of photos from the same country, which most of us have. And same as I shown for the year range filter, for the place filter, if you would like to see all photos that are missing a place, you can select this option and go over these photos one by one and add missing places to each photo. The last filter is people tagged. The people tagged filter allows you to view photos of specific people. The list that you see here, after you click on the people filter here, is sorted according to the people with most photos tagged. So in this example, you see that I have 30 photos of myself and 16 for my mother. And you can scroll the list to view more people. It's possible also to search the list by name in case you have many people tagged. In case I want to find photos of myself and my spouse Vered appearing together, my wife's name is Vered, I can select both of us and check this. One moment. I can select basically myself and select Vered, my wife. You can see that both of us are selected right now. And I can click on this toggle which says show photos of these people together, and now I can see only photos of us as a couple with no additional people. And this is very useful for finding photos with specific relatives or with your spouse or whatever. So that's another level of flexibility. Obviously, if you won't use this toggle, we will show you either photos of Tal or photos of Vered, which is also possible. Another option I have in the people filter is to view all untagged photos. Go over them and tag them one by one. As you can see here, I have 272 untagged photos, which is quite a lot. Going over them one by one, identifying the people in them and tagging them is possible, but is pretty time-consuming for those of us that are tagging our photos. You know that it takes time. Tagging 272 photos can take hours, and I know people using MyHeritage that have thousands of untagged photos. So now what I want to show you is another new feature that will help you tag most of these photos in minutes using an automatic tool that we call the photo tagger. So Photo Tagger is a useful free feature. You don't need to have a subscription in order to use it. By the way, also what I've shown right now, the list view for photos with all the filters and all this functionality for organizing photos is also free. You don't need a subscription. You just need to have your photos on MyHeritage. And this the Photo Tagger tool is really helpful in tagging many photos very quickly. Let's see what it is exactly and how it works. Photo Tagger analyzes the photos you have uploaded to MyHeritage and groups together faces that the algorithm believes belong to the same individual. You can then tag all the photos for an individual in one click, saving you the time and effort of reviewing and tagging each face in each photo individually. What you see here on the screen is the main Photo Tagger screen. We will get to it in a minute, but let's see first where to find it and how to activate this nice feature. So getting back to the Photos menu that I showed earlier, the second entry in the Photos menu is called Photo Tagger. So you just need to hover the Photos menu and click on Photo Tagger. The first time you enter the Photo Tagger, it will show this screen that is sort of an introduction. When you click, you just need to click the Start button in order to begin. Before using Photo Tagger for the first time, you'll be asked to give your consent to enable Photo Tagger. The consent is for MyHeritage to use facial recognition technology in order to identify the people in your photos and group them together. Those facial recognition models are only used within your own family site and are not used in any way outside of it. After you gave consent, you'll see like a pop-up with a consent message. MyHeritage will start calculating photo tagging suggestions for all the photos in your family site. Normally, this will take some time, depending on the number of photos that you have and the size of the tree that you have. It can be anywhere from a few minutes up to like 20 or 30 minutes until you'll get the results. Once the results are ready, we will send you an email with the link to view all your tagging suggestions. So again, you will not need to wait here. We will tell you when all your tagging suggestions are ready. Obviously, this feature is useful when you have at least a few dozen photos on MyHeritage, and you have some reasonably sized family tree. If you don't have a family tree or don't have photos, there's nothing much to tag or nothing much to tag more quickly. So you need to have obviously a tree and a few dozen photos on MyHeritage. Once the tagging suggestions have been calculated, the Photo Tagger will display the suggestions on its main page that you see here in front of you. Photo Tagger groups together faces that appear in your photos, which the algorithm believes belong to the same person. Each row here that you see on the screen is a group of tagging suggestions for a particular individual. So you can see here, for example, this is an unknown individual, and this one is Diane Richards, and this one is another unknown individual. There are two types of groups, identified people and unidentified people. You can see them here and also filter them from here. For deceased individuals, Photo Tagger will do its best to automatically identify them by name from your family tree, based on photos that you previously tagged. However, if there are deceased individuals that Photo Tagger has not encountered before, they will be unidentified. Regarding living individuals will remain unidentified for privacy reasons. We don't try to identify them, and you'll need to enter their names manually before you can tag them. You can use the filter buttons at the top that I've shown here if you want to focus only on identified people or only on unidentified people, or you can just view all of them by clicking the all option. If we'll click on the second row shown here of Diana Richards, we will enter the review group screen that allows to review up to 25 tagging suggestions for Diana Richards. Typically, a group, each of these groups will include between 3 to 25 tagging suggestions. So if we only have like one photo, we normally don't show it as a tagging suggestion here. We will show it on the single photo page. But here you will see only groups that help you tag multiple photos quickly. A group can be up to 25 photos. Now this screen lists, and again, after you click the review button here, you'll get to this screen that lists all the tagging suggestions we have found for Diana Richards. For each photo, you can see here that the person's face will be shown enlarged on the left, while the full photo will be shown on the right next to it to give you the full context. So this one should be used for you to identify the person, and this one is useful for having the right context, because sometimes it's hard to identify the person only by looking at his face, but when you see it in the full context, it's much easier for you to recognize that it's the right person. Also, like in historical photos, black and white photos, they were taken in very low resolution, so sometimes it's very hard to recognize the person. Below each of these photos, the date when the photo was taken and the place where the photo was taken is also mentioned, and you can see what other people are already tagged in that photo. All of this information is coming to help you in order to verify that you are indeed looking at the right person and are going to tag the right person. And basically, if I haven't said that previously, on this page, your task is to scroll down to review all the photos in the group and uncheck any photo that was misidentified. Face recognition, as you may know, sometimes makes mistakes, so I really suggest that you go over all of these tagging suggestions. If you found that any of them is not correct or not, or you don't want to tag it, you can just click here the small checkbox and uncheck the selection, and then we won't include it. Okay, so obviously after you, one moment, have some problem here, okay. When you're done reviewing all photos in the group and unchecking those that didn't belong, you can click this button, the Tag 5 Photos button, at the top of the page, and all the photos that haven't been unchecked will be automatically tagged. If a group of photos doesn't match the individual that was automatically identified, or if the group is messy and shows photos for too many different people, you can just click the reject button. It can happen sometimes that a single group might include a few different individuals, and you will ask yourself, what is this? It can happen, but like in most cases, 90+% of the cases, you will see like very good and relevant results. Sometimes you'll want to dive into a photo to see it up close, because some of you might say that it's very hard still to recognize these people from these small thumbnails. So to do so, you can click on the thumbnail of the original photo, this thumbnail, on the right hand side, and this will take you to a full screen mode where you can get a close-up view of the photo. So if I'll click this, So if I'll click the thumbnail, I will get into this full screen view that shows the full photo. You'll have here at the top the same option to check or uncheck the photo. And you can scroll left and right to go through all 5 photos in this group and do the same for them. So if it's not convenient for you to view those small thumbnails, just enter this full screen mode, and then you can go left and right and review each and every photo specifically. Once you are done here, you just need to click the back button shown here at the top left corner. It's a bit more visible on the site itself. This screenshot is not so great. So we looked previously at an unidentified, identified group. Now let's look at how to review and tag an unidentified group. Rather than display a person's name, each unidentified group will be labeled with "who is this," as you can see here. You can see here the first one and the third one is saying "who is this," and basically it means that we don't know exactly who is this, and you will need to look at this person and enter his or her name. So to review such a group, you just click the review button or click the entire row. It will work the same. And we will take you to this screen, which is similar to the screen we saw previously. The difference is that for an unidentified group, you need to enter the name of the person. So you click here into the enter this person's name, and you can start typing the name of that person. That person needs to appear in your family tree. So if he or she doesn't appear in the family tree, you will not be able to find them from here. You will need to first go to your tree and add that individual to the tree, and then come back here. You can do it on a separate tab even. But the idea here is that you can only select people from your family tree. And once you've selected them, and again, you scroll down and reviewed each and every tagging suggestion, you can click the tag 8 photos button, and those people will be tagged. If you unchecked any of those, they will not be tagged. So as you can understand, it's quite quick. You can, in most cases, review those tagging suggestions very quickly by browsing through the thumbnails, accepting them, and clicking the tag photos button. And it's much faster than going into each and every photo and clicking on the face of the person and writing his name, which takes much more time. Okay, so after we are done tagging all the groups that we wanted to tag, we've added a lot of tags, of new tags into our family site. This screen will show you how to view all the tags that you added. I've shown this screen earlier. It's the photos list view. So basically you can get back here, as I said, from the photos tab here in the navigation bar. You click on My Photos, and then it opens either the list view or the grid view. If you look at the list view, you'll be able to see all the people that are tagged. You can use the people filter in order to see only photos of specific people that you just tagged, which is easy. You can also filter by person from the grid view. This is the grid view, and here the filter for the people is on the left-hand side. It's a bit different. You can scroll through the list and find the person that you want to look at his photos, his or her photos. Okay, before we wrap up, I will just say a few words about privacy, as I've mentioned, facial recognition and things like that. Obviously, privacy is very important to MyHeritage. And as with any personal data, MyHeritage will never share any of your information with any third-party companies. It's all kept within the MyHeritage servers. Tagging suggestions identified by name are provided only for individuals marked as deceased in your family tree. Before using this feature, all users will be asked to give consent to MyHeritage so that photo tagger can create facial recognition models using your photos. I've mentioned that earlier. What I didn't mention is that you can withdraw your consent at any time from your site settings. And basically what we'll do behind the scenes, we'll delete all your tagging suggestions and all the facial recognition models, and you'll have nothing to worry about. Withdrawing consent will delete everything. You can always opt back in if you decide again that you wish to use this feature. Okay, that's pretty much it for today. I'll be happy to answer some questions if you have any. I had a lot of fun as always. So back to you, Marianne.
Thank you, Tal. That was great, very interesting. Loads of questions, but let me take back the slides, and I will do a couple announcements, and then we'll bring you back on for the Q&A. All right.
Sure.
So our next MyHeritage webinar in 2 weeks will be MyHeritage, Your Personal Genealogy Archive by Melissa Barker. Melissa is well known to our audience. She's done a number of webinars on archives, so I think you'll really enjoy that. Melissa is a terrific presenter, so put that on your calendar. We'll see you at that webinar. And now we're going to give out a couple door prizes. Our first door prize is the MyHeritage Complete Plan, and this gives you access to everything at MyHeritage. So, well, everything that you see on the screen, because we're going to have to ask Tal how this applies to the AI. So I think we'll have to update this slide to make that clear. But we've got the Premium Plus Family Site subscription. That's where you build your tree. And you can do unlimited family members in that. And then there's the other side of the complete plan, which is the data subscription, which is all the historical records and the newspaper records and yearbook photos and directories and all that kind of stuff. So with the 1 year MyHeritage Complete Plan, you are getting all of this for a whole year. And that is going to go to audience member Virginia Berlando. So congratulations, Virginia. And our second door prize is a MyHeritage DNA test kit. And this will give you, there's two sides to the test kit. One side will show you your ethnicity, revealing to you where your ancestors have come from around the world. And then the other side to a DNA test kit is your shared matches. So you can see the people who share your DNA. So when you take a test kit, you send it back, and then your results will appear online in your MyHeritage account, and you'll be able to see all that information. And today, that is going to go to Glenn Schwartz. Congratulations, Glenn. We're going to be sending you a DNA kit. Now, I will be emailing Virginia and Glenn with information about how they can get their prizes. So be on the lookout for those emails. I will need to get information from you, so I can send you these. So be on the lookout for that later. All right, let's bring Tal back on here. And all right, Tal, the top two questions today. The first one regarding AI. So you mentioned the different pricing and you mentioned the discount, but the audience was not clear on people who have MyHeritage subscriptions. Do they get the AI automatically included, or is that an add-on price?
Good question. I didn't answer that. Yes, if you have already a MyHeritage subscription, you'll be getting 3 AI models, AI avatar models for free. So basically, you can do it for yourself and your spouse and your father and whatever you want, or just create 3 different ones for yourself. And you'll get included all the themes that we have in both packages. So yeah, that's included in the complete plan.
But I noticed you didn't say the time traveler there. What about
Yes,
that?
both plans, both the time travel package and
Okay.
the avatars package.
Okay, so you basically you can upload 3 separate people and apply the photos to them.
Yeah,
That's what you mean by
yeah,
model. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I hope everyone in the audience is clear on that. Now the second one, this was really interesting. Photo tagger. Now the way you demonstrated it on the website, there was a little option that appeared under photos, and some people in our audience had that option, and some people don't. Like I don't. So what is causing that? Do you need to have the app in order for that to appear on your website version of MyHeritage? Why do some people have it and some people don't?
Okay, so I referred to that, I think, earlier. In order to be able to use the photo tagger, you need to have a minimal size of a tree. I think somewhere
Oh,
around 50 individuals or something like that. And you
okay.
need to have a few dozen photos. I don't remember by heart now to tell you exactly how many.
Okay, so it's the
Uh,
tree and the number of photos.
yeah, but
Okay.
the number is not big.
Okay, because I have a large tree, but I only have about 10 photos. And
Yeah, so that's the reason.
Stephen has like 100 photos. But Stephen, tell me how many people you have in your tree if you have, and because he didn't have it either. But maybe, let's see. Okay. Well,
So
we'll not worry about that right now.
he should have both um, at least 30 or 50 individuals in the tree and the same number of photos. Sorry that I'm not I don't remember
It's
exactly
okay.
the number, but you can always contact our support team and they'll be happy to help you set it up and get it working.
Okay. Okay. So some people are saying they just. So do you need to? Should the photo tagger option be on the website? You know, if you meet that criteria, you don't have to do anything to
Yes.
get it.
Yes,
Okay.
you don't need to do anything. You only need to activate it, meaning you need to access the pages I've shown under the Photos tab. You click on Photo Tagger, and then you click Start. You accept the consent, and after you accepted it, we'll be calculating your tagging suggestions.
Okay. I'm gonna switch back to your screen right now, if you don't mind. Can you go to the photo screen? Because some people are asking how to access list view. So if you
Sure.
can get to your screen, and then I'll switch over when you're ready.
Just a moment.
Yep.
Let me know if you can see my screen now.
All right. Here I'm gonna switch over. You'll see the alert there.
Yes. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so if I wasn't clear about that, you need to click on the My Photos tab, and then you'll get to this screen. On this screen, you will see the grid view of photos, but here at the top, you have two options. One is the grid view, and the other one is the list view. So you just need to click this small icon, and you'll get to the list view. It's a bit bigger on the website, I think. Here, the screenshot makes it smaller than it actually is. So that's the way to access the list view.
Okay, so everyone, you see that photos link at the top. Once you click on that, then you'll see these little icons that Tala is showing you
Yeah.
over on the right. Okay, so and can you go into a photo? Do you have one that is showing you like the detail screen? A slide, just
With a
any
specific,
photo. Yeah.
I think we
Oh,
had this one.
oh, okay. So it's not showing what I'm thinking of. So not in the tagging photo. So Barbara is asking about. Well, she's asking a whole bunch of questions, but when I click into a photo, there are keyword and note options.
Yes, she means inside. I don't have a screenshot here in this presentation to
Yeah.
show, but she's right. There's options to add the keywords and notes. We basically store them together with the photo itself, and then both from the list view and from the grid view for photos, you have a search bar I didn't get into that right now, but you can search for your photos based on these keywords.
Okay, so you can search for the keywords from that search bar.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I don't have any photos tagged, otherwise I would. I don't have the photo tagger option on my website, otherwise I would show you guys my screen, but all right, so let's move on to the next question. Deborah wants to know, can I delete photos that I have corrected and colorized?
Yes, of course.
And Stephen wants to know, is there a place where it lists the quotas when you're using the free function? So say somebody uses the free AI, I think this was during the AI section, does it tell you in advance, like how, because even I ran into this when I first did it. You upload your photos and then it'll process however many, but then it'll stop once you hit your quota. But if you know that in advance, then you can check the packs that you really want as opposed to just going in order like I did. Is there any way where it'll tell you like how many that you can do for free before you hit the quota?
You mean the storage quota of your family site?
No, I mean like I think this was during the AI doing like the time travel things. If you're doing the free version, you can only do so many before you hit the limit. Do you know what the limit is?
So the free version is occasionally free when we set out a promotion. It's usually once every few weeks. We have like a few hours or a few days of a promotion, a period in which a single model is free to create. And you get 20 themes created for you for free under the time travel pack. But if you want to try additional themes, you will need to purchase a theme pack for about $10.
All right. Mary is asking so this is referring to the AI. So if a man has a beard in a photo, will it remove the beard for some of the themes?
It could. Generally, AI is unpredictable. Like if you uploaded enough photos with a beard, normally it will assume that this person has a beard and will show most of his AI images, AI avatar images with a beard. But I've seen many cases in which some of the photos come out without a beard, which is also quite nice because it lets you see yourself in a different way. So I would say that most of them will be with a beard and some will be without.
Oh, and I think the reverse is true too. If a man doesn't have a beard, some of the themes will give him a beard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which is fun.
In some of them, we even created it specifically to have a beard for specific themes. So,
okay. Yeah. Sharon is saying, some of her AI themes came out good and some not so much. Any tips on how you can get better results?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, make sure you upload photos with no sunglasses or glasses. Normally with no I don't know, it can be like COVID masks or hats or anything that is obscuring parts of the face or of the head. It's better to have at least a few, like 5-6 good selfies showing different expressions from different angles. It's also important to have reasonable lighting conditions in the photos, and to have some long shots, some half body shots, and some close-ups that show only the face. It's also important not to have other people in your photo. For me, I can say that sometimes even if I took all these guidelines and used them, I didn't get like the best results. So in some cases, I had to try another model with a subset of the photos, or mixing the photos that I've tried with a few other photos that I didn't try before. But in most cases, really like the majority of cases, when you follow these guidelines, you should get good results for some, at least for some of your themes.
Okay. And I noticed in some of the examples that you showed, when you were showing like the MyHeritage employees and the pictures they used, some of them were quite distant in full body. And I was a little surprised at that. Like they looked like they were 15 or more feet away from the camera.
Yeah.
So the AI is doing that sort of image as well, needing that kind of image, kind of a little bit distant.
Yeah, basically we can ask the AI how to make the photo. Like if we want it to be close-ups, or we want it to be a mix of close-ups and photos that are long distance. And in some cases, we just ask the entire theme to be like more of a long shot to show some more atmosphere from the theme.
That makes sense, because when I uploaded my photos, mine were all selfies and they were all kind of up close, and so they just didn't work for some of the the themes, and I think that was because I didn't have any of the long shots.
That's exactly the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you really have to look for quite a mix of different, like where your face is going and how close and how far away you are. Okay.
Yes.
Linda wants to know, how many different theme packs are there now?
So there are 3 different theme packs. There's the time travel theme pack.
Oh, I think she means like in time travel theme pack, how many different...
Oh, how many different themes?
Yeah.
I would say it's about 40 or 50 right now, around 50.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot. And every time I turn around, there seems to be more.
Yeah, we are updating them every few days.
Wow.
So yeah, we're adding more and more.
Okay. All right. Cynthia wants to know, can we save and share the AI images?
Yes, you can download the AI images. I think I've shown it earlier. I can show it again if you want. But under each theme that you get, there are 2 buttons. One button is for downloading the image. The other one is for sharing it.
If you don't mind going to that would probably
sure.
slide that would.
No problem. One moment.
Yeah.
So over here, let's say me as a World Cup soccer player, you can go here and you can just download it, and then you can open it, and you'll have the full collage. Let me try to switch to that. Not sure why it's not working. You can see it here.
Oh, okay.
So that's for downloading the full collage, but you can also like download individual photos. Let's say you want to download this one, and it will just get you
that one.
Close-up portrait.
And I noticed on the full collage one, there was also the share button. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Okay, now, of course, here's a really important question. On that the World Cup soccer player, can you choose your own team?
Oh,
that's really the question, because...
That's a very good question. We tried some of them, to be honest, to be able to select your own team. But in most cases, the AI doesn't recognize well the symbol of each country and how the uniform should look exactly. Okay. So it wasn't as successful as we hoped. So we made them more generic. So you can see there's one for retro soccer player and the other one for a World Cup soccer player.
Okay, we'll forgive you for that.
Yeah. Forgive the AI.
Let's see. And I have actually noticed, like, so if people want to see examples of this in the wild, as they say, you can go to the MyHeritage Twitter feed, and you'll see lots of examples of these photos that people have shared. So you can definitely download them and share them on social media or whatever. Just remember that once you share something publicly on any sort of social media platform, people can save those photos and share them someplace else. So if you see your photo someplace else, it's not because MyHeritage shared it someplace else. It's because you put it out publicly available. Is there an easy way to add photos from MyHeritage, from Family Search to MyHeritage? That's Laura's question.
Actually, not today. We don't have the same sort of integration that we have with the tree. Also with photos that are untagged. So not really.
All right. And Stephen wants to know if he's got photos that are blurry or kind of small, are they fixable?
You're asking in general, not about the AI machine, right?
Not about the AI. We're moving on now chronologically.
Yeah. Of course you can. What you can do is you can go to, I can show it really quickly. You can go to your photos and let's find something more historical. This one, for example. You have here the enhance button. Let's maybe delete the enhanced photo for a second. I'll show it from scratch. So if you have this photo, which is low resolution and tiny, imagine that it was even tinier. You can click the enhance button. And basically, it will upscale the resolution of this photo, basically doubling, or actually multiplying by 4 the number of pixels in the photo. So you can see here, like if you zoom in to the faces, you will be able to see them much, much clearer now. This is also done using AI. We call it the photo enhancer, and it's really, really helpful with old family photos.
So Stephen is saying these are photos brought in from Smart Match and have been enhanced. I didn't know that you could bring in photos from Smart Match, but that's just me.
If you have photos that came through a Smart Match and they appear on your family site, it's true that in many cases their resolution will be small. You should be able to see the enhance option and enhance them as well. Not always the result will be wow, because if the photo is really, really tiny and doesn't have enough detail, then maybe you'll get like distorted results. But I have seen even like photos with 100 over 100 pixels getting upscaled really nicely.
So Stephen is saying it was still too small. He couldn't see. I think, Stephen, the solution to the problem that you're having is to send an email to the person who uploaded the photo and ask them if they could rescan the photo. I think that's the actual solution that you're looking to in that. And it wouldn't be bad because, they could be a distant cousin or something, and maybe you'll have a great conversation talking about it.
Yeah, and also I think Stephen has a point that we do have some limit, some lower limit for the minimal size of photo, just because we saw that, I don't know, like if you have like 20 pixels over 20 pixels, it's just too small and you never get good results. So we don't even try to enhance such photos. So we have some lower bound on this, but I can't recall by heart what it is exactly.
Yeah, and some people don't really know how to scan stuff, or sometimes people take pictures with their phones and they're kind of far away or something. There could be all sorts of reasons why it ends up really small. And if people don't know how to work with the technology, they just upload kind of a bad image. And I think the best thing to do is to contact people and get them to work with their teenager. And then you will get the result that you want, because there's nothing a teenager can't do right now technologically. And so that's what you really need to do, is suggest to the people that you work with to find, in a way that isn't impolite, that, if they have a teenager somewhere in their neighborhood or in their household, that they could get them to help them with technology. Because some people can be very technologically smart and just not know how to do certain things like scanning, and But either way, I think that's really what the solution is going to be.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Corinne is saying, how can you contact the original uploader? Does it give a link to the original? I know they do that maybe on other sites. Does it on MyHeritage show you who the original person was?
You can get to it, but it won't be really quick. Like you can find the person that is tagged. From there, you can go to the profile page of that person and view on the source citations from which smart match or record match you got. You entered information about that individual, and from there you can get to the site owner that probably you have this information coming from. Sometimes you'll need to look at each and every smart match that you confirmed for that person, simply because we don't document for every fact or every photo exactly from whom it came from. But if you'll do a little bit of digging, you'll be able to find that person and contact him.
All right. Donald is asking, how do you download an enhanced photo? Since you have that photo right there, do you mind hitting enhance and then just showing him where the download button is?
Sure, of course. Let's wait for the photo to be enhanced, and then I'll show it.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Okay, so if you want to download the enhanced photo, you can see it here. Maybe if I'll zoom in, you'll see the differences much better. That's my brother.
So yeah, it's definitely clearer on the other side.
You can click here. This is the download button. And then you can either download the original photo, the enhanced photo, or a comparison between the two, like side by side. So if you'll download the enhanced photo, you'll get what you want.
Okay. Loads and loads of questions here. I don't think we're going to get to all of them, but here's a good one. Gary wants to know, when you download a photo, does the new metadata download also? Like if you put in a place or a person or something like that.
No, we don't include this information in the metadata of the photo. If you export the family tree, you will have this information exported with your family tree, like as a JEDCOM file. But yeah, normally you won't be able to do that if you just download the photo.
Right. So here's a question from Chaim. He says, when you enter a new place, when you're tagging photos, can you select it in the future for another photo so you don't have to retype it? I think you were talking about that earlier, but...
Again, sorry?
So if you're tagging a photo, say you tag a place, so like say you say Boston, because hey, I'm near Boston. Yeah. And then another photo comes up and it's also from Boston. Is Boston now saved so they doesn't have to type it again?
Good question. Actually, at the moment, no, but it's something that we want to extend in this component. It's a good point. And later on, we will support exactly that.
Okay. And here's this. So we've already touched on this, but I'm just going to clarify this for Jane. She says, can you use a time travel photo or avatar elsewhere? We already answered that, yes. Can you grab a screenshot of them? And so I just want to say, Jane, you don't need to grab a screenshot because you can just download it. Unless you really want to grab a screenshot, then yes, of course you can. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, so Nancy had the same question about downloading, colorize, and enhance. We just did that. Let's see. And we know that the photo tagger works on the website as well as on the app on mobile devices. So that's covered.
By the way, one thing I haven't shown is that we're also showing tagging suggestions here on the single photo page. You can see here the photo tagger thinks that this is James Paul Warburg.
Okay.
I can just click that person and decide to confirm this tag or not. So if you're on this screen, you can also confirm tagging suggestions from here.
Okay, great. Let me see. Kim is asking, you were talking about consent. If you withdraw your consent, are your tags removed?
No.
Okay. And I'm not seeing it now, but somebody was asking about when you're consenting, I think it was for photo tagger, said something about Amazon when it was, running through the list of like things that you had to know. Why would it mention Amazon there?
Amazon is the technology that we use for facial recognition. So that's the reason why it's mentioned there.
All right. So can you clarify then? It's not going to Amazon. The photos are not, right?
All of the photos on MyHeritage are stored on Amazon servers, like most of the websites in the world. So it's basically happening there.
So that's the AWS you're talking about, Amazon Web Services. Yeah. Okay, yes. So they're just being stored there. They're not actually being like sold there or displayed there or anything like that.
Of course not. Yeah,
okay,
great. AWS, they are stored and computed over there.
Okay. Heidi's asking, what format do you recommend for a photo to upload, JPEG or GIF?
JPEG.
And can you do photos in PDF version or no?
No, we don't support. If you're asking in the context of Time Machine, we don't support that. I think that for normal uploads to the family site, you can upload a PDF.
Okay. Okay, and I think this will be our last question. Susan is asking, once you've organized and tagged your photos on MyHeritage, can you download these organized photos to your computer?
So as I said earlier, we do not store this information on top of the photo. It's not part of the metadata of the photo. So
okay, and it's
not exactly.
It's the metadata that's used to organize the photos, to sort them by place or by person or such. So since that's not stored, then it doesn't carry with the photo when you download. Okay.
Usually the photo format itself doesn't support adding all this information to it, so it's not really possible.
Okay. Well, Tal, this has been terrific. It was fun looking at the AI. I can't wait to try the avatars myself. And lots of great information and about tagging, and it was fun seeing where you're going with that, and still lots of room in the future. You mentioned some of the things that you wanted to do to enhance that, so we look forward to the upcoming features to be added. Thank you for your time today, Tal.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
And thank you to our audience for spending some time with us today. Make sure you go to the website and register for the next MyHeritage webinar when Melissa Barker will be here. See y'all then. Bye-bye.